Hello everyone. The purpose of this video is to basically show you the kind of trouble I get into because I don't want to spend the money to buy things new in the box that seem to cost so much money anymore. So what I basically do is wind up buying bits and pieces as I can find them. This is a metal turret from, I think, Tegan 16 scale Sherman. And then parts that you can get off of eBay or from other places at decent prices to cut down. And hauls that you'll find on eBay's bits and pieces and parts. And what I like to do is try to take these and turn them into models. This is a MATO 1/16 scale Sherman M4A1 76 millimeter. That was a collection of parts, and I was able to turn it into a complete and running model. I found that the MATO line for its day was alright when it first started out. I think the tank was about 140, and of course over the years, since they don't make it anymore, people are trying to charge as much as they can for the parts. Some people in England have decided to repackage it with interiors, new electronics, gearboxes, everything else, and prices are now up over $350. But I sort of like to keep them in mind that it's going to be running. This one does run, thankfully. I don't know for how much longer. All the electronics on the inside are getting kind of old, and when they go, I'll just get new motherboards and receivers and stuff and redo it from the inside out. But the MATO treads were probably some of the best that I've liked, and the plastic running gear, even the sprockets and the return idler, aren't bad. I mean, it runs. It's not a it's like a Henlong, but it's not like a Tegan or one of the other brands of more expensive tanks that are in the $400, $500, $600 range. Then again, too, I mean, I don't have much into this. It runs, and I'm very happy with it. The parts were added. It didn't come with a lot of parts. I was able to find some of the stowage, the guns and other pieces like that, shovels. And add them back to the tank. As far as the paint job goes, it's strictly right out of a can. I like the Humbrol spray cans of their, I think they're about 3 or 4 ounces of their acrylic spray. It goes on really nice. You don't have to whip out the old airbrush, the compressor, and everything else. It makes it for a very nice finish. And from here you can take it and add whatever you want to as far as weathering goes or running gear. But as far as putting a lot of extra stowage and stuff on it, it would look nice, but when you're out running around, then you got to go track it down in the dirt or the grass when it gets knocked off or falls off, or somebody hits you with a BB and something goes flying off of it. The only thing I would like to do to it is take the end of the barrel out there and put a small wrapper around the end to signify a cover for the thread for the muzzle brake. But I've added on some 1-inch plate to scale, welded on either side of the turret, and two 1-inch plates to the front of the hull. I saw a tank like this in a military book that I have on Shermans. Wasn't painted like this, but I know a lot of Shermans wound up in the olive drab and black, or olive drab and dark green. So as long as it's running and I get some enjoyment out of it, and it, I think, looks pretty doggone good still for its age. Very happy with it, and I feel like I get a sense of accomplishment. I know maybe some of y'all might want to see the build, but I really don't have the patience to sit down and make video after video after video to show all the steps and everything. Just take it from me that it was a bunch of parts and it now is a functioning tank. And this is what I like to do with these things, for the mere fact that it gives you a sense of accomplishment. And I guess being a tightwad, it gives you a sense of doing it without spending a lot of money to get it done. I did do a M4A1 76 millimeter with the metal turret and the metal pan and all the metal running gear, and used the really nice duckbills, metal tracks. Got the tank running. I'll show it in another video, but I could never get the duckbill treads to run properly on it. So I basically took a pair of Hinlong Sherman treads and these MATOs, and used them on there, and both those sets run perfectly where the metal ones don't. So I guess I'm going to have to check and see if there's some kind of burrs or whatever in the tracks themselves, or whatever could be interfering with just one side that just does not want to seem to run. And I'll show you that tank in another video. I've also got a 1/16 scale Forces of Valor Tiger 1. I think it's supposed to represent Michael Whitman's tank. And when I found it, it was a collection of, even though most of it is die cast, it was broke. The side skirts I've had to fix and barely get reattached. But it wound up looking pretty doggone good for a box of parts. And I do it with all the models I get. I love aircraft. I've got a B-17 I'm working on, a G model, that was basically a guy was selling. He had started it, and someone somehow either broke a bunch of parts or something happened to it. I got it for a really good price. I was able to find the other parts on eBay, and working on it right now, and they sell for $300 to $400, and I guess all total, as far as parts and the kit goes, I've probably got maybe $130 into it. So it's a lot of savings, and it's a way to allow me to get the models I want, but not have to put out all the money to afford one. I just can't see paying $400 or $500 for a plastic kit. Maybe I'm too old or something, but I just don't agree with that. Even the cost of some of the old Revell kits and monogram kits being repackaged, and they're asking $30 to $45 for them, seems to be way too much money. It's still plastic, and the molds have been paid for years. So I hope that a lot of people out there might enjoy seeing these videos, for the fact that it's a way of taking models that maybe pitched or whatever else, kit bashing a bit and making something that looks halfway decent out of it. That's why I started this YouTube channel, and hopefully you'll agree that there are ways around of getting what you want without having to spend an arm and a leg to get there. As I go on this and as I further upgrade it, I'll make other videos on this particular model and then on the other ones I have. And it'll range from everything. It'll range from figure kits to aircraft, ships, tanks, you name it. I like them all, even figures. If I can find them or get them and repair them. If they're missing weapons or something, maybe find some that are in the same scale. I like the resin kits in 200 millimeter, and I even like the a couple years back the Dragon was making 124 scale German and American figures in I think a 5 or a 6 pack, and I've been able to hobble together a bunch of those individually for far less prices than what they were back then, which I thought was way too much at that time. So I think in this particular case, the Sherman here that MATO did was pretty nice. I know that there's a discrepancy where the turret bottom is about 1/8 or 3/16 of an inch too tall, and the end of the barrel runs off rounded over. It should be flat, but these are all, in my mind, things that you can overlook for a running model. Take it outside, enjoy it, and hopefully you don't kill it, but it doesn't have to be absolutely exact. And I don't believe in putting a lot of aftermarket photo etch and everything else on these kits. Most of the time they get knocked off, or you just give up trying to get all of it on there. So I hope you've all enjoyed this. Keep an eye out for future videos, and talk to you all later. Have a good one now. Bye.